Hello everyone. Today we will study about reproduction in planaria. During our last lecture we have already studied the sexual reproduction in planaria, that is male reproductive system and female reproductive system. Now we will study about the copulation. Copulation in planaria. Though planaria is a bisexual or the hermaphrodite, it practices cross fertilization. Okay, and here the self fertilization is absent or does not occur. During copulation, the two worms adhere together by the ventral surfaces of their posterior part, with their anterior parts diverging from one another. Okay, as we see in the diagram, diagram or the figure, that is during copulation the two worms comes together either they are by ventral surfaces of their posterior parts. Okay, and the anterior parts diverge from one another. In this position, the genital pores of the copulants lie opposite to one another. Okay, and then the penis of each copulant dilates and is inserted into the bursal canal of the other copulant through the genital pore. And then the spermatozoa are shed by each worm into the copulatory bursa of its partner. Okay? And after this mutual insemination, the copulant separates. Okay? And after the separation, the sperm swim out of the copulatory bursa into the genital chamber, and then they travel up in the ovovitelline ducts. What is ovovitelline ducts? Remember, as they are bisexual organism, there is a formation of ovovitelline duct. Remember, it is in the female, oviduct extend backward on their way where they receive numerous vitelline ductulus. Okay, from the yolk cum shell glands. Okay, there are many yolk cum shell glands scattered along the side of the body where there is the vitelline ducts are there. Okay, these oviducts are also called as the ovovitelline ducts. Okay, and there the sperm swims out of the copulatory bursa into the ovovitelline ducts. Okay, and through the ovovitelline ducts they reaches the seminal receptacles where the sperms are stored. Okay, then after the copulation there is a fertilization and the capsule formation. Okay, uh, in the last slide we have studied about the copulation where the sperms are transferred. Okay, now we will see what happens with the ova. Okay, when a ripe ova passes from the ovaries into the seminal receptacles takes place. So ripe ova moves from the ovaries into the seminal receptacles where the sperms are stored. In the seminal receptacle sperms are stored. Okay, where they are immediately fertilized by the sperm. So ova passes from the ovaries into the seminal receptacle and the sperm fertilizes the ova. The zygote is formed and and then it is passed backward through the ovovitelline ducts. After the copulation, from the copulatory bursa, the sperms pass through the ovovitelline duct into the seminal into the seminal receptacles where the sperms are stored. Okay, then after the fertilization also the zygote will move through the ovovitelline duct and it reaches into the female genital chamber. Okay, and there they are mingled with the yolk cells from the yolk cum shell glands. Okay, and the function of yolk cum shell glands is that there is the formation of capsule takes place. Okay, and in the female genital chamber there is a covering is formed towards the around the round mass of the zygote and the yolk cells. Okay, and this structure is called as a capsule, and it contains 5 to 10 eggs and hundreds of the yolk cells. Okay. The capsule is coated by a sticky substance secreted by the cement gland that surround and open into the common genital atrium. The capsule is now extruded through the genital pore. Okay. After that formation of capsule, the capsule is torn out of the body or through the genital pore, and it as it passes from this genital pore, uh, this sticky coating is drawn out into the sticky stalk. So while it passes through the genital pore, that capsules get forms a structure like a sticky stalk structure that helps them to attach to the substratum, adherence to the substratum. So this stalks helps fasten it to some object, chiefly the under surface of the stone or the substratum. Okay. During the breeding season, each worm may copulate many times and lay a succession of capsules at the intervals of few days. Okay, and during ordinary temperature or normal temperature, the capsule hatches into the 2 to 3 weeks. Within 2 to 3 weeks, and it get liberated to the uh, liberated in the form of fully formed worm. Okay. This is about the copulation and fertilization in the asexual in the sexual reproduction. Now we will go to the asexual type of reproduction. There are, in Planaria there are both, that is we show asexual type of reproduction and sexual type of reproduction. Now we will study about the asexual type of reproduction. In the Planaria they show two type of asexual type of reproduction, that is the binary fission and the regeneration. Okay. In a asexual reproduction, it is most common type asexual type of reproduction, and in a several species they prefer mode of reproduction, and it occurs by the binary fission. First one we will see the binary fission, in which the body divides transversely a little behind the mouth. Okay, a little behind or down near the mouth. Okay, and the anterior part is without the tail. You can see this picture. It is shown that this is the figure showing the transverse fission. Here we can see there is a transversely division take place near the mouth or behind the mouth, and the anterior part, the one, is without the tail, and it regenerates a new tail, whereas the posterior part lacks the head, it grows a new head. Thus two complete worms are formed from one. Okay, this is the transverse fission. Next one is the most common type of asexual reproduction is the regeneration. Okay, in regeneration what happens? In Planaria they have an extensive the power of regeneration. Okay, the lost parts can be easily replaced, and complete worms can also be developed from a small section of the animal. Regeneration is brought about by the preformative cells of the parenchyma. These cells migrate to the cut surface, and then it undergo repeated division, producing a new tissue. Okay, so in regeneration what happens? Parenchymal cells plays an important role. Parenchymal cells are also known as the mesenchymal cells. The third layer of the middle layer will be of the body wall is that mesenchyme. That is, in a higher animal it is called mesenchyme, but in the platyhelminth it is called as a parenchyme. Okay, so this parenchyme parenchyma layer plays an important role because whenever there is a cut region or any body part is cut, they will migrate, these cells will migrate, parenchyma cells will migrate to that cut surface, and they will show a repeated division, thus giving rise to a new tissue. Okay, and this power of regeneration is maximum near the head and it is minimum near the tail or the posterior end. This is because of what, there is a reason for this, that is the metabolic rate is highest in the head, and thus it becomes the progressively lower towards the tail. Okay. So this variation in metabolic rate and the regenerative power is called as the axial gradient. Okay. So this is about the reproduction in Planaria. So once again we will revise, that is reproduction in Planaria are two types. They show sexual reproduction plus asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, what happens? There are two types: binary fission and regeneration. In binary fission, what has happened? There is a transversely division of transfer. The body divides transversely, and the posterior end lacks the head and the anterior end lacks the tail. New there is a regeneration of head plus tail in the posterior head and the posterior part and the anterior part respectively. Okay, thus giving the two complete worms are formed from the one. Okay, whereas in regeneration, what happens? There is parenchyma cells which plays an important role in regeneration. That is, they whenever there is cut or takes place, or the body cuts into two, they will move towards that cut region, and there they will show a repeated division of the parenchyma cells, thus giving rise to the new tissues. Okay, this will give rise to the complete organism. Okay. This is about the asexual type of reproduction. Now we will study the sexual. We will revise about the sexual reproduction. In a sexual reproduction, Planaria is a hermaphrodite, but they always show a cross fertilization. There are no self-fertilization does not take place. Okay, so male reproductive system. There are male reproductive system plus female reproductive system. Male reproductive system consists of spherical testes that has a vast efferents that opens into longitudinal ducts, thus forming a vas deferens. Okay, so vas deferens of each side dilates to form a seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicles of the two sides opens into the penis, and this penis shows two regions, that is penis bulb and penis papilla. Okay, so there is the lumen of the penis is a narrow and it's termed as a ejaculatory duct, and the penis papilla projects into a small chamber called as a male genital atrium. That's a male genital pore, has a male genital pore. And this male genital pore opens, or this genital atrium continues with the common genital chamber, which also receives female genital chamber, that is called as a genital pore. Okay. Then comes the female reproductive system. This female reproductive system has the two spherical ovaries, giving rise to tube from each ovaries, that is known as a oviduct. This oviduct has extended and receives numerous fine vitelline ducts. Okay, from a minute yolk shell glands. Okay, and this oviduct are called as the ovovitelline ducts. Okay, and at the posterior end of the ovovitelline ducts, it's unite to form a vagina, and the vagina opens into genital chamber. A seminal receptacles opens into the genital chamber. Seminal receptacles are nothing but where the sperms are stored. Okay, the genital chambers opens outside the genital pore. Okay. This is about the female reproductive system. Then we have studied the copulation. During copulation, what happens? Two worms comes together, either by the ventral surface at the posterior part. Okay, penis of each copulent dilates and is inserted into the dorsal canal, and the spermatozoa are shared by each worm into the copulatory bursa. Okay, and after the separation, the sperm swim from the copulatory bursa into the genital chamber, and then it travels up into the ovovitelline ducts and it reaches into the seminal receptacles where the sperms are stored. Okay, then there is fertilization takes place and the capsule formation takes place. The fertilization in fertilization, what happens? Ova comes or passes out from the ovaries into the seminal receptacles, where they get fertilized, and the zygote then again pass through the ovovitelline ducts into the female genital chamber. Okay, where it comes in contact with the yolk shell glands, and in a female genital chamber they get the covering also, that is this covering is called as a capsule. Zygote plus yolk cell get the covering. Okay, and this capsule is contain 5 to 10 eggs and hundreds of yolk cells. Okay, and this capsule is formed or coated by a sticky substance which is secreted by the semen gland, and when this capsule are move out of the body through the genital pore, this sticky substance get uh, modified into the stalk like sticky stalk, which helps in the adherence to the substratum. Okay, and during breeding season, what happens? This copulants mainly like uh, lay a succession, different succession of capsules are laid at a different time within a few days. Okay, and during ordinary temperature the capsule hatches 2 to 3 weeks, within the 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, this is about the sexual type of reproduction. Okay, with this lecture we have completed the phylum Platyhelminthes, and from next lecture we will start up from the phylum Asexual. Okay, thank you.